Chapter 61-66. Peter asked him, "Tell me what it is." The vendor said, "You see, I don't have much business here, so why don't you do it? Just let me go to your store with you and see how it goes. I am particularly interested in this kind of thing and want to learn more." After saying that, he was afraid that Peter would not agree, so he quickly added, "Don't worry, I'll just follow you and take a look." Peter guessed that the other party must be trying to find information about him for someone else. As for whether it was Irvin, Jacob, or Manager Chen, it didn't matter to him. Because these three individuals must be connected. As long as the news reaches the ears of any one of them, it means that all three people know it. Moreover, the vendor in front of him is very gossipy by nature. If he is allowed to follow and witness the whole process, he will definitely spread the news to every corner of the antique street. Therefore, such a person can just be used by himself, and now he has arrived at his door. After making up his mind, Peter said with a smile, "Since you are interested, come and have a look. Anyway, there is nothing shameful." After saying that, Peter reminded me, "But if you want to go to my store, you have to make a 3-part agreement with me and abide by my rules." The vendor said hurriedly, "No problem, Manager Ju, I will do whatever you want me to do." Peter said, "First come to my store and use your mobile phone. It must be left to me for safekeeping because the people who come to my store are big customers from all over the country. And you must not take videos of them and invade their privacy." The vendor agreed immediately without any thought and blurted out, Okay, I'll give you the phone right now." After saying that, he took out the phone and handed it to Peter. He also knew very well in his heart that the task Manager Chen gave him was to inquire about information, not to shoot videos. If he could witness it with his own eyes at the scene, he would definitely be able to get the most accurate and fastest first-hand information. There would be no harm in handing the phone to Peter. And Peter also knew very well that this vendor wanted to get inside information about what he was selling. And he could just use him to reverse the direction of public opinion last night. The only thing to note is that he must not let him take the video and spread it randomly, because there is a high probability that he will directly earn 20 million today, which is equivalent to making 19.7 million on the first day of opening. It was a loss of 300,000 yuan yesterday. It is nothing if you look at the whole country, but you make nearly 20 million yuan in one night. If it really spreads, it may directly become a hot search. Since short videos began to become mainstream on the internet, if you want to be trending, you must have a video. If there is no video, netizens will no longer believe it just by saying that someone made 20 million in one night. By taking away the vendor's mobile phones, the hidden danger of the video being spread can be eliminated. So, he took the mobile phone handed to him by the vendor and said to him, "In addition to not being able to take videos, once I start seeing customers today, you are not allowed to leave without permission until I finish meeting the customers or the items are sold." "Okay. No problem." The vendor agreed, thinking to himself, "I was afraid that you would kick me out in the middle. Since I agreed to help Manager Chen find out the information, I must find a way to keep an eye on him until the end." Nodding, he added, "Last point, you can check it out after you go, but you must not talk. Don't say anything. If you have anything to say, just wait until it's over." "Okay," the vendor said without thinking. "You don't worry, I will never talk after entering your store. I will talk to you when you tell me." Peter nodded slightly with satisfaction. "Okay, let's go." "Hey!" The vendor looked eager and followed Peter. At this time, 20 or 30 people had been waiting in front of the treasure shop for a long time, because almost all of the 10 Tibetan friends who had received their numbers came together as 2 or 3 people. In fact, before Peter left the hotel, he had already roughly seen the faces of these Tibetan friends outside the door through the surveillance camera in the store. He was truly relieved when he found that there was no familiar face. He has been working on Chinese antiques overseas for so many years, and has interacted with some of the top collectors in China. However, he also knew very well that the top collectors he knew had extremely strict requirements for their collections. most of them only collected good things that were close to perfect. Such as his own Northern Song Dynasty bronze Buddha whose outer shell had been completely destroyed. They probably won't be interested. But he is also somewhat worried. What if one of the top collectors he knows is not doing well anymore and starts to downgrade his consumption? And after the other person's consumption downgrades, he happens to like his Northern Song Dynasty bronze Buddha. Then today's matter is more or less difficult. Fortunately, everything did not deviate from his expectations. This Northern Song Dynasty bronze Buddha perfectly filtered out the big collectors he knew. To Peter, the appearance of this thing was as perfect as a tailor-made suit. Every point is extremely suitable for my needs. If it happens today, he really has to thank Jacob for this opportunity. At this time, Peter came to the door, bowed his hands to everyone, and said with a smile, "I'm sorry to keep you waiting for so long. I am the treasure shop's owner. Please come in and let's talk." When everyone saw that the boss was there, they all started talking. He bowed his hand politely. The collector from the capital who got number 1 asked, "Boss, I got number 1, so I want to ask, should we go in one by one in order, or should we go in together now?" The collector had a very simple idea in mind. He felt that since he was holding number 1, it would be best for him to do his best to see the item first. If there was nothing wrong with the item, he would directly buy it from Peter for the price of 20 million. In this way, there is no need for the remaining people to come in. He is not afraid of these people seeing things, but he is afraid that these people will bid against him on the spot. Although the boss has already set a flat price of 20 million online. This kind of thing is not subject to any legal restrictions and can change at any time. If someone offers him 25 million, and he breaks the promise of a flat price in a heartbeat, there is nothing he can do against him. Peter smiled at this time and said, "Since everyone has been waiting at the door for so long, there is no reason for everyone to continue waiting outside. After everyone goes in, everyone can see the item one by one in the order of taking the number. After everyone has seen it, I will not increase the price temporarily. It will still be the fixed price I posted online. At that time, everyone can decide whether they are willing to buy according to the order of taking numbers. If number 1 is willing to buy, then the purchase right will directly belong to number 1. And I can only say sorry to the others, but if number 1 is not ready to ask for it, or cannot immediately remit the payment to the account within 5 minutes, then the purchase right will be deferred to number 2. As soon as collector number 1 heard this, he felt relieved, but the others did not immediately despair. Because no matter what, first of all, he could go in and take a look at this treasure, and secondly, if the people in front didn't want to buy after seeing it. If he wants it, or if he can't come up with so much money in a short period of time, then he still has a chance. The vendors following him started to beat their drums in their hearts, and couldn't help but secretly speculate, what kind of medicine is being sold in Liang Yun's good this time? This group of people seems to be quite capable. But they seem to be very interested in Liang Yun's things. Is everyone really going to be fooled by him today?